Welcome back. Today we are about to begin the chapter number 3, Soil Resources. In this lesson, we will discuss about soil, its importance, formation, and the major types of soils along with the characteristics found in India. Soil, we all are well aware about it. It's one of the natural resources. Other natural resources are water, vegetation, wildlife, and minerals. But soil is one of the most valuable natural resource. Now, before going to learn in detail, we should know how the soil is formed and what is the soil. Soil is a loose rock material which made up of the thin layer of the surface of the earth, that is called as soil. Now, when the soil is formed with a thin layer on the surface of the earth, it has some weathered rocks, then some decaying organic matter. There are some living organisms, there is water in it, and air too. This is simply what we generally call as soil. Now, soil as a natural resources, do we have any use of these natural resources? So here, the importance of soil will let you know that how much importance it is in our day-to-day life. Generally, if you speak, you can find it out here that everything what we need in our day-to-day life we derive from soil. And there are so many and plenty of things we do take from soil. The first thing, that is food. Now, food which we get for man and for animal, this comes from soil. Even the growth of crops and the natural vegetations all over the world depends on the quality of soil. This means if the soil quality is good one, we can see a vast natural vegetation, just like the alluvial soils or the mountainous soil. And if the quality of soil is not that good, then there will be a less vegetation, just like desert soil. Some of the primary foods like cereals, fruits, vegetables that can grow from soil, that is directly. And along with that, we get lots of products directly and indirectly from soil. For example, meat, then milk, eggs, honey, and wool. These are indirectly products we get it from soil. And these are obtained mostly from cattle, insects. Now, these cattle and insects generally depend on the soil and the food availability there. And these products are known as the secondary food products. Now, if you just take a look at, there are some indirect and some other uses of soil, just like we have the clothes. Now, these clothes are made from the fibers, and the fiber is grown in soil. So, soil is not only providing only the food and the clothes, it also supplies us material for building houses, just like roofs, the constructions, then some minerals for the development of industries. If the soil is rich with the mineral, then the country or the area can be well developed with the help of that minerals. Hence, soil is the most significant natural and the basic resource for the development of our country's wealth. So, in short, we can understand that soil is one of the most important factor for any country. If we have the best quality of soil, definitely the result will be best. And if the quality of the soil is not good enough, the development of the country can be delayed. So these are few examples of importance of soil we have discussed in our day-to-day life. We can have more than that. Now, this important type of soil, how does it form? So the formation of soil doesn't take place in a proper way everywhere. There are some factors responsible. First of all, formation. Now we can check there are various environmental factors that are responsible for the formation of soil, especially the parent rock materials, then the climatic conditions of that areas, relief features or the vegetations and the drainage pattern available in that area. Not only that, some animals, then insects and human beings are also important in formation of soil. So soil is the process which gradually goes on differently from place to place, and these are the factors responsible for that. Now when the process of the soil formation goes on, this process is called as pedogenesis, the process of soil formation. And here there is one branch of science that deals with the earth science, and here with the study of soil, that is called as pedology. Study of soil is known as pedology. So there are some important factors which help the soil to form in a better and proper way. Which are those? Let's try to find it out. Here are some factors affecting the soil formation. The first is the climate. Extreme temperature conditions and the rainfall can break down the rocks, and here they favor the soil formation. Decay of vegetation determines the humus content of the soil. How much vegetation decays into the soil makes the humus content. And the roots of the plant make the soil porous, and biochemical processes also help in soil formation. And these all factors are related to what? Climate. So how the climate? So the formation of soil takes place. In short, temperature and rain. Important point, that is a parent rock. Now parent rock has the physical and the chemical compositions. And how the parent rocks physical and chemical compositions are there? So we can find out the same in the soil. For example, the red soil. Red soil is a red in color because it is presence of iron, and that iron is present in parent rock. So we can understand that red soil got its red color because of the presence of large amount of iron. Even the physical composition also we can try to find out. Physical composition, if some parent rocks are very soft, they easily break out and they fast form the soil. Some are very hard, so they takes lots of time in order to form the soil from that parent rock. Next, relief or the topography. Now topography plays very important role in the formation of soil, in the sense steep slopes. And steep slopes, as it is having a lots of rolling nature, so here the layer of the soil is very thin because lots of weathering takes place here, and they are carried away from the slopes by the rivers and by the streams and deposited on the plains. Whereas if you see there are some gentle slopes, these gentle slopes will have a deep or thick layer of soil. Now these thick fertile soil layers have developed on the flat plains and valleys because weather particles remains undisturbed here or deposited here. So the area with the gentle slope, we are having thick layer of soil. An area with the steep slope, we are having thin layer of soil. And last one, time. Time is a passive soil former because the formation of a mature soil profile is a very slow process, and that evolves from the original parent material, means that evolute from the original parent material. So parent material, if they are very soft, then soil can be easily formed in a very good amount of time. If the parent rocks are very hard enough, they may take more time in order to form the soil. So these are the four main factors which are responsible widely to form the soil in that particular areas. And you may have the questions on Name the factors responsible for soil formation. Now let's take a look at in short about what is the composition of soil. Means what is the soil made up of. With the help of diagram also we can try to understand. Let's take a look at. Soil is a mixture of inorganic materials. There are some minerals in that. There are organic materials like humus. Basically, there is a varying proportion of silica, clay, chalk and humus in the soil. So it is not same everywhere. There are some varying proportion of soils of these compositions. So we can see the soils are different everywhere. So mainly speaking, the profile of the soil consists of topsoil and subsoil. Here in the diagram also we can try to find it out. So here it's a topsoil, below that it is a subsoil. So topsoil contains what? Mainly humus. So it is one of the most important layer of the soil. And it also contains the fine particles and all kinds of organic material we can find out in this top layer. So the formation of top layer is a very slow process and it takes a very long time to form it. But when the erosion process takes, it easily washed away from that place. Now below of the topsoil we are having the second part that is called as subsoil, and this subsoil generally it is formed by weathering of parent rock. Here we can see at the bottom these are parent rocks. Parent rocks are broken, formed into the soil, and it contains bit moisture than minerals. Okay, but there are no humus part in the subsoil. And below the subsoil there are unweathered rocks, this area, or there are bed rocks. So this is how the soil layer is formed, or there is called as composition of soil. Now based on to the content availability in that, we can just try to find it out what type of soils we can generally have. There are mainly three types of soils are there based on to the compositions. These are sandy soils. Sandy soil, as the word itself suggests, that it contains approximately 60% of sand in it and only 10% of clay. And here the soil particles are very loose and porous, so they do not have enough cementing materials. That's why the water never remains into the soil. So especially we can just try to find out desert soils or semi-desert soils are the part of sandy soil because there is no clay content in that. Second type of soil we can find out clay soil, and it has the high proportion of clay. It becomes sticky when mixed with water. That's why it is called as clay soil, just like the clay formation. And loamy soil is called as the fine soil because in this the mixture of sand and mixture of clay is in equal proportion, and this is the best soil for farming. So generally we can understand sandy soil more sand, clay soil more clay, loamy soil 50-50 sand and 50% clay soil makes it a very best one for farming. This is the type of soils based on the composition. Now from Indian point of view, which are the major types of soils we have to study in detail. The major types of soils in India are based on variety of rocks, then relief, then vegetations and the climatic conditions. So everywhere in India the soils are not same. They differ in compositions, in the structures, in humus and mineral contents. Therefore basically we have four main and the major types of soil in India, and these are alluvial soil, black soil, red soil and laterite soil. So you will have probably the questions on these four main types of soils. So try to understand here where they are, what are their characteristics, and then you will be able to understand why there are variations into the soils all over the